Maori justice panels in Wellington are crediting strong relationships with police and support services for the region's success. Te Pae Oranga is an alternative justice pathway for low-level offenders, which aims to stop people going to court. The latest figures from police show a 92% success rate for Māori in the Wellington region, compared to a little more than 50% nationally. Our reporter Meriana Johnsen went along to Te Pae Oranga in Waiwhetu, Lower Hutt, to see why this panel stands out above the rest.
The panel is held in Te Māori, a wharewhetong and art across the road from Waiwhetu marae. Each session begins with a karakia by kaumātua and co-chair Kongareriti, who makes it clear this isn't a court. He says the peaceful and relaxed environment is key.
I think it's our tikanga side, I think it's our wairua side of things like that. We have participants that have been here and as soon as they come through the door, they're anxious and things like that. They come into this environment, they see our taonga sitting here. Wow, this is different. This is the outward changes.
A Pākehā man is in front of the panel for theft of property. The victims of his crime sit directly opposite him. Panel co-chair Julie Wilson, known as Auntie Julie, makes it clear to the offender they're lucky to be there and not in a courtroom. She's seen more than 2,000 participants, so knows when to push and when it is clear someone doesn't want to change. She says getting buy-in from participants is crucial.
And the time and effort that goes into it to get that one person in is huge, by everybody, and the follow-up and the success of it afterwards. And that's all down to the fact that we're in head office just up the road and they'll do anything we want.
Both the offender and victims get a say in the amends that will be made, and everyone shakes hands or hugs at the end of the hui. The offenders don't get a criminal record and the meeting remains private and confidential. Support's offered for the underlying causes of offending, such as drug and alcohol counselling, and they have 6 weeks to do this or risk being charged. For the last client of the day, a Māori man in his 30s, iwi liaison officer Asha Hauwaho drives to pick up the participant.
If they don't turn up, then there's no meetings at all, therefore there's no completion rate. So we're trying to do the best by our staff that refer people to the Te Pae Oranga panel, that we get them front and centre to enable the meeting to take place.
Asha Hauwaho has been involved with the panel at Waiwhetu since its inception in 2010. He says once they get the participant to the panel, they understand why they're committing crime.
You won't know that until you sit around the table and have a values-based corridor with them. So in terms of the completion rates, agreements, stuff like that, it's kind of tailored for each person, and we kind of gauge what they will need from the corridor around the table. So that's probably a point of difference.
Victims of crimes and their whānau are invited to attend panel sessions as well. The victim of this crime, John Portote, says it was an opportunity to try something different.
I thought the space was really safe, it was positive, it was a good way of everyone having a fair say on what their side of the story was, a chance to apologise, to brush over some details that you wouldn't get in a court environment. But I actually thought it was a really positive outcome, to be honest.
He also got to make amends.
The space allowed me to actually converse with the person and apologise to him for things I said and done as well at the time too. Just looking after my property and my house and my family. But just to hear him apologise face to face, kanohi, is different compared to the court system.
Both Wilson and Reriti say what happens after the hui is the most important part. Offenders are assigned a whānau order navigator who makes sure they follow through with the apology, counselling or reparations. Wilson makes it clear to offenders this is a one-time deal. It's up to them to stay out of court. Mo te hōtaka o te Ahiahi, ko Meriana Johnsen, DNA.